great. I thought it might be interesting to just ask all the panelists to comment on the debate that seems to be evolving right now in the presidential campaign, with Gingrich and Perry taking on Bain Capital and basically raising a question of Governor Romney's social value or the value of capitalism. We're apt to see that again in the fall. This campaign promises to be something of a referendum on, free enterprise, capitalism, inequality, all of that cluster and the debt and deficit role of government. Do you see that as potentially damaging or potentially fruitful for the country to come to grips with those issues and share your views on what we've been hearing just the last few days?
Sure. Who wants to go first on that one?
Well, I'm a Democrat, all right? And I used to be a liberal Democrat. My wife, who's a Republican, says I'm to the right of her. But anyway, I don't think anybody's debating the way that's been portrayed in some of the press is that's a question of socialism versus capitalism, and I don't think that's the issue. I think what Romney's done in Bain, and that's just all part of the capitalistic system. There are some parts of the capitalistic system, however, which has stepped out of control. I mean, there's been the question that Paul Volcker's asked is what's the social welfare of the financial engineering we've seen on Wall Street? And some of those questions I think are very legitimate, and I think if I listened to Gingrich too in the traffic this morning, he says it's not a question of capitalism or Bain, it's a question of what was Bain doing, and was those kinds of decisions in the best interests of the country. And those are fair, but they do get blown out of, I think, totally blown out of proportion in the way the media handles a lot of it because they try to find the headline.
You can't trust the media nowadays, you know?
No, it's just, you can trust the media. It's just your job is very difficult. You've got 2 minutes to say everything, and the world is full of nuance.
I guess my main issue with the media is that we report on the fight and not on the issues.
Yes,
far too often.
yes, yeah.
Do you have a question back here?
Well, there's, can we?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, continue.
Continue with that? Well, I think I'm an economist. Maybe I guess I'm liberal. I think capitalism and the market system is good for economies, and markets can be very helpful for economic growth. But I believe in a mixed system that is better than the capitalist system alone. And so there is also a role not just for private investment, but for public investment as well. And this would be where I have the most disagreement with the Republican candidates. And that's important both at the federal level and at the state level. Now, one of the reasons that we have had a successful economy for the past several decades has been public investment in education, especially the education reform of the 1990s. And going forward, the way that we can best grow our state's economy is through continued public investment in infrastructure and education and quality of life. And we could speak a lot about that. That could also address the problems of the unequal development regionally in the state. So I see it not as a role of private sector versus public sector, but a role of investment, improving productivity. And so there are important roles for private capitalism, but also for the public sector as well. And we're fortunate in Massachusetts in that we are a wealthy state. Our tax rates, on average, are below those of the states in the rest of below the average in the rest of the country. We have a capacity for public investments and to make the public investments in those sectors that will improve our competitiveness globally in the future.